Hey, it's Chris, the Dating Doc. Happy holidays. Hey, first off, you need to hit that like and subscribe, okay? I don't ask for it too much, but if you really want a unique look at the dating related news and advice that I do, and in my mission of finding the cure for the common date, hit that like and subscribe. So, what are we gonna talk about? We're gonna talk about a young superhero by the name of Pete, who's been able to use his web slinging abilities to tie up more than 4 characters in a multiverse. No. I'm not talking about that Peter. I'm talking about Pete Davidson, who's been able to bag some of the hottest women in Hollywood. I'm talking about Phoebe Dynevor, Kate Beckinsale, Ariana Grande, Kim Kardashian, and even possibly Miley Cyrus. So what's the secret superpower? Maybe it's just his Peter. No, I'm not talking about this Peter, but this Peter. I'm sure you get what I'm saying. So without further ado, let's cock-a-doodle-doo on what 28-year-old Pete Davidson's secret sauce is for bagging the ladies in the multiverse we know as Hollywood. So to me, the first ingredient to his secret sauce is that Pete Davidson has a nonchalant attitude that relaxes and calms women. They feel like they can be themselves around him. Now, this is different from an intense masculine approach, which has the woman feeling slightly intimidated and having to step up to garner the attention of the louder alpha male archetype. In this case, what Pete does is they feel like they can level down. The other part of this is that he finds that happy medium. He's also not the nice guy who doesn't need a woman's approval. He's genuine in his approach. This is different from that nice guy who's begging for the validation of a woman. Pete, on the other hand, he lives with a I don't care if I lose her mentality, which equates to high self-confidence for these ladies. Now, my theory, which is a bit darker and serious, is that his bouts with depression have left him in a IDGAF mentality. I don't give a you know what mentality, where conquering and continuing to conquer his struggles have left him fearless. Pete has confirmed that he suffers from borderline personality disorder, also known as BPD, which can have him feeling intense levels of emotion for an extended period of time, and then it makes it hard for him to regulate back to an emotionally stable baseline, especially after an emotionally triggering event. Now stay with me here because it's important to understand a little bit more about BPD. Those with BPD usually have a fear of abandonment. We've gone through abandonment issues before, and an unsteady sense of self, and a history of unstable personal relationships, which we're going to get into. According to Dr. Francesca Paraplechikova, assistant professor at Weill Cornell Medical College Medicine, those with BPD are unusually creative and empathetic. We see that with Pete. He's talented, he's famous for his time at SNL and as an actor, as a comedian, but he's also very empathetic, and you could see that with his caring nature, which I believe is also part of that secret sauce on how he's able to bag these ladies. I feel that in some ways he's been able to counter his BPD at a highly functional state. I'd say this is all part of his secret sauce, which causes him to be very charismatic, and the instability can be something these women can identify with, especially if they too display even mild symptoms of BPD, anxiety, or depression. Now let me take a quick pause and discuss a lesson for men. Yes, of course you can find that zone of zen through meditation, continuously conquering your goals, physical and mental progression, and more. You do not, I repeat, you do not have to go on with your mental health challenges to assume that that's your way of charming or pulling in women. There's much to be learned from Pete on what not to do. To go along with this theme of him being nonchalant, he sort of takes on the archetype of the guy who sleeps on the couch. You know what I'm talking about, that 420 friendly guy who's super chill and maybe does the dishes once a week, but you can't get rid of him because of his positive and upbeat view on life. This is part of Pete's secret sauce. He's able to sexualize the interaction enough to where he goes from the calm and cool buddy for these women to where they can feel a genuine attraction and turn on for him, just enough of a dash of sexual swagger to his secret sauce. Let's transition now to some fun facts that bring some balance to Pete's strengths and weaknesses when it comes to his Hollywood relationships. Pete Davidson started dating Ariana Grande in May 2018 and proposed in June. That's right, just a month later. And not to mention, he started dating Ariana right after he got out of a relationship with Cazzie David. He then broke up with Ariana in October 2018, covered up their tattoos, but at the same time, they publicly exposed their mess. I alluded to Cazzie David, his girlfriend prior to Ariana Grande. She's gone on record saying that both her and Pete struggled with mental health issues, and they broke up the day before she found out he was with Ariana Grande. Man, you want to talk about a mess? In January 2019, keep in mind he broke up with Ariana in October 2018. Yes, 2 months later, he was seen publicly with Kate Beckinsale, who by the way was my mid-20s crush. Her in Black Leather in the Underworld series. Oh man, so dreamy, just look at that. But I digress. 20-year-old gap between Kate and Pete. Can you believe that? My man Pete was only 3 years older than Kate's oldest daughter. LOL. By April 2019, the couple had called it quits. Let's see, January, February, March, April. You get my drift. You're starting to see the trend with Pete. He goes into his relationships, possibly even love bombs, goes into them quick and dirty and intense, and then next thing you know, poof, they are gone. Now, one of the most famous, if not the most famous lady that right now is dating Pete Davidson is Kim Kardashian, who filed for divorce in February of 2021, and by October 2021 was rumored to have been with Pete Davidson. Yes, that is right. 8 months later, after a 7-year marriage and 4 children with Kanye, Kim and Pete are together. Oh, by the way, the divorce has yet to be final. You gotta love how Hollywood promotes these fleeting relationships. So let me do my hot take on this and let's recap. Pete Davidson is the kind of guy who sleeps on the couch. He's the chill friend. He has confessed that he has borderline personality disorder, and he's able to charm these ladies in a way that to me is different from some of these male heartthrobs in Hollywood. Some of these other guys that are out publicly that have to be in the forefront, that have to be loud and proud. I see Pete Davidson as, again, sort of that buddy who you can have a smoke with or joke around with, and then he's able to slide in with a little bit of that sexual swagger and get these ladies. Now, there might be a reputation, since it is Hollywood, that there's other things in play, if you know what I'm saying. Things out of our control that people are born with. That may be an advantage to him bagging some of these ladies. I don't know. This is all rumors. It's all Hollywood. But what do you think? No, seriously, I want to know your thoughts. Does Pete Davidson really have that charm that makes him Mr. Stereo Girl? Is he just a projection of his partner's insecurities and mental health issues? Or is there something more that I missed? Oh, and one more thing. What do I want for Christmas? I want you to quit being such a... and click and subscribe and support my efforts. Thank you for watching. This is Chris the Dating Doc signing out. Peace.